What's good, everybody? Welcome to MJT Football. I'm your host, Tony Tucker, joined here with Joe Morley. Let's talk about my favorite player and new nickname from this weekend right here. Maybe a bit hyperbole there with favorite player, but the Pastronaut, just a fantastic nickname that I saw on the internet. Rocket scientist Josh Dobbs getting there. But before we do that, if you're new to MJT, please consider hitting the subscribe button. If you're listening to the audio version, come on over to YouTube. Get in on the, live shows, the live chats when we do live shows. This is a pre-record. But Josh Dobbs shows up like 72 hours before. Jaron Hall actually playing good ball, like 5 of 6, about to go in for a score. It's just like, I'm going to, slow motion. What's that song, the hero song that they play? Like, just going, gets trucked, unfortunately, gets a concussion. Josh Dobbs comes in on the road, Atlanta, gets the dub for the Vikings. Joe, what do you got for Josh Dobbs?
So people are comparing this to the Baker Mayfield bullshit from last year, and I'll bring that up because Tony always gets it. Baker Mayfield, he came in on Monday, played on Thursday, had a game-winning drive, 98 yards against the Raiders last year. Thank you, Jerry Tillery. But people are comparing it, but I don't know if there's a huge difference. And people are like, which one's better, the Baker Mayfield one or the Josh Dobbs? And I'm kind of going with the Josh Dobbs because at least Baker got to practice with the team. Josh Dobbs got absolutely zero reps with the team, with the first team this whole week with anybody. The guy doesn't even know anybody's name in Minnesota, let alone going out there and throwing passes to him. And he goes in there and wins the game for him. But this is impressive, Tony. Something, not just what Josh Dobbs has done this season alone has been impressive. When he got traded to Arizona at the beginning of the season, he had 1 week before the starting game there, and then went and not dominated, but had a great opening game for Arizona. And then we were sitting there at trade deadline. We're like, nothing's going to happen. What is Minnesota going to do? Because Kirk Cousins went down. And then they bring in Josh Dobbs, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty damn good move, but it's going to take him a little bit to get to the system. And his first game, he comes out here and makes some big plays against the Atlanta Falcons and wins the game for him. Josh Dobbs has changed my mind. I follow him on TikTok now. I am watching everything he's doing. Like, he's awesome. He'll go to people are, Tony, it's going, I don't know if you want to get on the trend, but people are doing the Josh Dobbs trend this week, where they're shaving their eyebrows. They're getting rid of the eyebrows, Tony, to be like Josh Dobbs.
I think that, doesn't he have alopecia?
I don't know, but I just saw the trend. I don't know exactly what he has, but if he does.
Yeah, I don't think he shaves his eyebrows. I think I don't know. So I don't even know.
I'm just telling you, there's a TikTok trend out there where Minnesota fans are shaving their eyebrows this week.
Okay. Yeah, as long as it's all like positive and support, then I'm good with it. We've already seen Josh Dobbs do this. He did this last year, Titans, Jaguars. We came in for the Titans on short notice. What he was doing with the Cardinals this year, making them competitive, it's fantastic. Showing off the feet in this game, I thought was impressive. Right? Didn't really know what was doing, but then scrambling and going for 7 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown. In this game, adding that dimension to what's going on for the Vikings. Let's take a little bit bigger picture look at the Vikings, because the Vikings were already trending in the right direction when Kirk Cousins suffered the unfortunate Achilles injury. Since the Chargers game in week 3, they beat the Panthers in that game. Defense turned it around. Brian Flores has really figured out some stuff with this defense. Then they play the Chiefs. That Chiefs-Vikings game was actually pretty competitive, and I thought the Vikings had a chance to win that game. They were able to put up 20 points on a really good Chiefs defense. They beat the Bears, shocked the world when we were all sitting there watching the 49ers, and we're like, wait, is this going to happen? Oh, man, Kirk Cousins in primetime. Then they beat the Packers. Now they have the comeback win with the short notice Dobbs. They've won, 4 of their last 5 football games? 5 of their last 6? 1, 2,
5 of their last 6, yeah.
4. 5 of their last 6 games, and they're getting back to that little Minnesota magic. Sprinkle it on. Here we go. Skull Vikings, like just woof, there it is in the stadium, going nuts. So I look at this and I go, this team is a playoff team. And I think the thing that makes them more dangerous than last year is that the defense is playing better with less talent. Like Danielle Hunter, who I thought should have got moved at the trade deadline, is leading the league in sacks, Joe. Like he's still on a 1-year deal. Like this man, if he doesn't get paid by the Vikings, is getting paid by somebody next year because he is an extremely productive pass rusher and one of the guys we forget about. We talk about the top 5 to 7 guys all the time. We never bring up Danielle Hunter in that conversation, and the guy's got 10 sacks this year. So it's
as of right now, Tony, at 5-4, a team that started 0-3, they're the number 7 seed in the NFC right now. They're a playoff team in the NFC, and we were wondering, like you said, when Kirk Cousins went down, everybody was like, "Oh crap!" But the next 3 games, like they're on a 4-game win streak right now. They got the Saints, the Broncos, and the Bears before they go into their bye week. I'm looking at 8 wins going into the bye week. Maybe I think they could. I think they could beat the Saints. I think the Broncos are going to probably be their toughest task, and then they have the Bears. But the way that Brian Flores, and I think it just took a little bit for this defense to start clicking because it's a different defense. It's a blitzing defense. It's a fun defense to watch. I think it took a little bit for these players to get on the Brian Flores rhythm, and once they did, it's a whole Minnesota team, and I'm loving it. And if Dobbs can just continue to do his game, not make big turnovers, and make the plays when they need to, Minnesota's winning. They won 2 or 3 games right now without Justin Jefferson, their best wide receiver, Tony. We're seeing a lot from the young guy in Jordan Addison, and this is just turning out to be a fun offense. They don't even have a running game, Tony. They don't have a running game. This is wait until this whole team starts clicking, and maybe I think people underestimate how much Kirk Cousins meant to the Minnesota Vikings, and you saw it when the teammates wore Kirk Cousins. But I think the Vikings hit this on the head or hit this nail with the hammer, whatever the hell you want to say. Yeah. When they brought in Josh Dobbs, they brought in a guy that can basically match Kirk Cousins' energy when he goes in there, and somebody who people are gonna follow him. They're gonna follow Josh Dobbs. He might not have the winning record, but the dude has the energy that people want to build off of, and they can see that he gives his heart each and every play.
Yeah, this Saints game I think is a tough test, right? But the Saints defense, it's not. What's the old saying, Joe? It's not Drew Brees' grandfather's defense. Saints defense, it's just not the same it's been in years past. So, winnable game. Broncos have been playing better, and the Bears. I don't know what to make of the Bears. I really don't. They slammed the Raiders, and then they've now in back-to-back weeks looked a little shaky with Bagent. Maybe Justin Fields is back, makes that game a little bit tougher. It's harder to blitz a guy like Justin Fields because of the running ability. I will say Cam Akers going down might open something up for Chandler, who's a running back that I liked in the draft before, and I think he's had a couple of pop plays when he's been out there this year. So I don't think it's a massive loss, and they weren't really running the ball that great anyways. But if they get back Jefferson here in the near future, and that opens up more for Jordan Addison, and the Hawkinson trade looks amazing. I mean, they traded away a guard that's going to be a starter at the deadline. They traded away a guard to the Jaguars. So I'm for it. It's fun. It's fun to watch the Vikings be in these crazy games. It's fun to watch other crazy games that don't involve the Chargers. I'll just say that. It's so relaxing and enjoyable to watch a game that is frantic at the end. And I really think that, to me, if I'm being honest, This was more about a letdown from the Falcons because Heineke does his job in the game. He goes down there and he gives the Falcons a lead. You're at home and you can't protect that against a quarterback that's been there for 72 hours. That's a little on the Falcons, in my estimation. But all the applause goes to what he was able to do. And I think he's just earned himself a job in this league for a really long time. I don't know that if I were a GM that I'd be signing up for even like a Geno Smith style contract, but I would love to have him on my roster. That's for sure. Like, I feel great about him as a backup.
Yeah, he just bought himself a couple more years in the NFL. But yeah, I'm agreeing with you, not a starter. But Tony, I don't think they're going to be able to catch the Detroit Lions in their division. Like I've already said earlier, they're the number 7 seed in the NFC playoff team.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it's probably going to take 9 wins, and they're getting some big ones. They're getting the right ones. So, yeah, I could easily see them winning another 4 of their final 9 games. I think they have left. 8 games they have left.
Yeah,
they could go 4-4 and be in the playoffs. I did not have that as their record prediction. I think I had them as a 6-win team. So they're well on their way to hitting the over on the win total for this season. But the crazy
I can't remember where I had the Vikings. I had them winning the division, right?
I think so. The Jaren Hall, he actually looked pretty good. Like, he looked like he was going to be able to operate the offense just fine. So they have 2 capable QBs in this situation.
Well, there we go. Minnesota Vikings got the stamp of approval by Tony Tucker and myself that they will be in the NFC, representing the NFC in the playoffs. So there we go, Tony. Minnesota Vikings playoff team.
Awesome. And we appreciate you spending a little time with us here on MJT. Please consider hitting the subscribe button. Like I said, the audio version, come on over to YouTube and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we go live for shows, for fantasy football on Sunday mornings, for our Thursday Pick'em show. And we'll be back with more positivity and comments and takes on some of our favorite things from week 9 of the NFL season.